Start recording. Okay. Toya, when you read a problem like number 1, what does it make you think about?
The first thing I pick out, it's like a function thing problem, but it's terminated in words. You understand?
No, I don't understand what you're saying.
You take out the most important information.
Well, let me ask you a specific question. This equation right here, what does this make you think about, this equation?
It's a slope intercept, something like that.
That's right, slope intercept equation, where this is a mx and that's a b, right?
Yeah.
So let's just write here. Okay. Y equal mx
Plus b.
plus b. All right. Now, let me make this a little y so we're consistent here. Okay. So y and x are the coordinates on our grid. Y is what? The vertical or the horizontal?
Y is the vertical.
That's right. Y is the vertical and x is the horizontal. So let's just make this a little bigger. Okay. Now, so what is M, Latoya? M is what?
M is the slope.
That's right. Very good. M is the slope. What is B?
The y-intercept.
That's right. The y-intercept. That's the value of y when x is 0 on the grid, okay, on the coordinate grid. Now, which means what is the slope in this equation?
The slope is 0.836.
That's right. That's 0.8636. So let's just copy this. Okay, let's just copy that equation. Okay, so the slope is, get the other out of the way here. Okay, so the slope is 0.8636. Now we know that the slope is the rate of change of something, right? So let's just put here, let's just put 0.8636 is the slope. Bigger, that's a decimal there, not a comma. Okay, let's just make that bigger so you can see it. Okay, so that's the slope. And what's the y-intercept?
27.227.
27.227. So let's just put that there. So that is the y-intercept. Okay. Now, we said that the slope is the rate of change of something. It could be an increase, it could be a decrease. All right. Now, if it were a decrease, it would be a negative value. If it's an increase, it's a positive value. Right. So if anything in these possible answers have decreased, we know that can't be right. So we can eliminate C, because C is a decrease. And this slope is positive, so it's an increase, okay? Now the X represents the number of years since 2004, where X is less than or equal to 10. That's right. So average number of students per classroom is Y. So Y, on the y-axis, we have the average number of students per classroom. X is the number of years since 2004, right? So picture the coordinate grid where you have Y as the average number of students and X as the number of years since 2004. And that slope represents the rate of change of something, right? Which one of these answers you think would be correct? Which of the following statements is the best interpretation of this number 8636, which is the slope? Which of these statements you think is the best interpretation of the slope?
I said B.
You would say B. Average number of students per classroom in 2014. Remember, I say slope is a rate
It's
of
D.
change. Which one?
D.
D is in dog. That is
Yeah,
correct.
D as in
Because
donkey.
that's right. Because D represents a change, yearly increase in the average number, whereas B is just average number, right? So you have to, it can only be between C and D. And it can't be C because we said the slope is not negative, it's positive. So it has to be an increase. Okay. So the estimated yearly increase in the average number of students per classroom is represented by the slope. So the answer is D. How did we get D? How did we say we got D, Latoya? Why did we choose D?
It's what they call it. The slope is increase.
Well, the slope is increased, but what else about the slope? Slope.
It's average too.
Represent
average.
Not average. It represents rate of change.
Yeah, okay. That's the word I want to remember.
Right, rate of change. And the increase is a change, right? And since it says increase, our slope is plus, so it would have to be increase. It wouldn't be C. Well, it can't be the average. Average number of students per classroom is not the slope. It has to be the change in something. So the change is the 0.8636 that represents, in other words, the estimated yearly increase in the average number of students is 0.8636. Okay, that's the yearly increase, where the X is years since 2004, and it's less than or equal to 10. Okay, so it's important to know what actually that slope-intercept formula means. The slope, rate of change, the y-intercept, the value of y when x is 0. And on a coordinate grid, you can actually see that if you have a line plot. You can just read it off the graph, okay? The value of y when x is 0. Any questions on number 1?
No.
Chastity, I see you're on. I don't know if we went over slope once before. I don't know how familiar you are with slope. Okay. All right. So the general format for the slope-intercept equation is y, and the y is the vertical, x is the horizontal on the coordinate grid, slope multiplied by x plus b, the y-intercept. So we notice that this equation, y equals 0.8636x plus 27.227, is in the same format as our slope-intercept equation. So the coefficient, that's the number in front of the x, that's the slope. And the b constant is the y-intercept, okay? So that's one thing you want to look at when you see an equation that's talking about change in some variable, okay? That it's probably a slope-intercept format. Okay, let's look at number 2. How would you solve number 2?
If two,
What would you do, Latoya? What would you do first?
you gotta what is y in a minus 1?
What is y in terms of a?
Is 2 over 1?
2 over 1?
Yeah, 2. The equation, this part I'm talking.
It's not a...
A minus 2, not the answer. A minus 2.
No, how would you solve this? We want to take
No, I
this.
was asking you.
No,
Yeah,
what are you
the
asking me?
2 divided by a minus 1. That's
Yeah,
what I'm asking you. This part.
yeah,
2.
this is 2 divided by a minus 1
Oh,
equal
that's all I
4
meant to
over
make
y.
sure.
Yeah, that's right. So let's see if we can copy this. Copy this here so we can make our changes. So that's 2. And then I want to copy this in the written. Okay. So that's 2 divided by a minus 1. Let's see if I can move that over.
You're gonna cross multiply?
Yes, very good, Latoya. You're going to cross multiply. So let's just make this. Okay. So we're going to cross multiply. So let's just put this down then. Tell me what you get when we cross multiply.
It's gonna be 2y.
Okay, 2y, that's good.
2y.
2 times y would be 2y.
2y.
Okay. And that's equal what?
Equal to 4a minus 4.
Okay, so let's just write it as a product. It would be 4 times a minus 1. Okay, let's make that bigger. Okay, so 2 times y is 2y, because remember multiplication can be a dot, an X, or asterisk, or it can be parentheses, or it can be side by side. So when you see 2y, that means 2 times y. And then 4 times a minus 1 means 4 times the expression a minus 1. Okay, let's just simplify this. 2y, what's 4? And you told me before. What is it, Latoya? 4 times a. Okay, 4a. What else?
Minus 4.
4. Very good. So 4 times a minus 1 means to multiply 4 by whatever's in the parentheses. 4 times a is 4a. 4 times minus 1 plus times minus give minus is minus 4. So 2y equal 4a minus 1. So you want to find what is y in terms of a. So what do we do next? What do we do next, Latoya?
We're gonna add
Remember, you're solving for y. So what are you gonna do next?
you're gonna divide by y under 2y.
You're gonna divide by 1?
2y, 2.
Yeah, you're gonna divide by 2. Okay.
2, yeah.
Divide both
Sides. That's what I should say.
sides of the equation by 2. Now, what would that give me? Now let's just put down what we're doing here. This is, I'll write that over again and then we'll put the 2 under it. Okay. Now we're dividing both sides by 2, right? So
Yeah.
we're gonna have a, let's see, put underline and underline. So we're gonna put the 2 here and we're gonna put the 2 here. Okay, it's a little closer so it looks. Okay, now what do we get for the left side?
Y.
That's right, 2 over 2 is 1, so we get y.
The y is 1, so it's understood.
Okay, that's just y, small y. Okay, and what do we get on the right side?
2a minus 2.
2a minus 2?
Yeah.
Okay, 4a divided by 2 is 2a, so
Yeah,
2a.
2a.
Okay, mine and 4 divided by 2 is minus 2. 2. Okay. So you see your answer? What is your answer?
It's a.
Very good. Okay.
I know it was a.
Okay, very good. Answer A. Because that y equal 2a minus 2 is answer A. Okay. What could be another answer? What could be another answer for this,
I
Latoya?
said D, I think 2a plus 1d.
No, it can't be but one answer of the multiple choice. But what could you make this? You could put the 2 in front, right? You could factor out the 2 and you'll have a what? Minus 1. But that wasn't one of your choices, right? They had 2a plus 1, they had 2a minus 2. But if you factor out the 2, notice you have a 2 here and you have a 2 here. So 2 times a and then 2 times 1 is 2. So another answer could be 2a minus 1, but that wasn't one of your choices. Any questions? So we are solving for y in terms of a. So y equals 2a minus 2 or 2 times a minus 1. But 2a minus 2 is our A choice. Questions? Latoya, you good at this now, right?
No.
Yes, you are. We're going to go to number 3.
Because
okay.
I learned by doing physical math.
Well,
I
that's
can't
one.
sit down in front of a computer and do math. I do like falling asleep.
Yeah, well, that's good. You learn by doing it,
Because
actually
in the
doing it.
Caribbean, they beat us to do mental math. We
Yeah,
couldn't do
meta math
like,
yeah, it's good to do meta math. Now, I'll give you a chance to read number 3 and tell me what your answer is. Number 3, recommended daily calcium intake. Notice we have inequalities there. The greater than or equal, greater than, let's just move that over. Okay, greater than or equal, greater than or equal, greater than. Recommended daily calcium intake for a 20-year-old person is 1,000 milligrams. The 1 cup of milk contains 299 milligrams of calcium. 1 cup of juice contains 261 milligrams of calcium. Which of the following inequalities represents the possible number of cups of milk and cups of juice? And milk is given as M and juice as J. A 20-year-old could drink in a day to meet or exceed the recommended daily calcium intake from these drinks alone. Now, what's the recommended daily calcium intake?
For 1,000 milligram.
Right, calcium intake is 1,000 milligrams. Okay. So let's just make that bigger. Okay, so that's the recommended daily calcium intake for a 20-year-old person. So, but we're given 2 things that contains the calcium. We're given the milk and we're given the juice. So the milk contains what?
299 milligrams of calcium in a cup.
299 milligrams. We'll just say milligrams because that's okay. And the juice contains
261 milligrams.
261 milligrams. Okay. Now notice they said what? What's a key thing they said here? Which of the following inequalities represent the possible number of cups of milk and cups of juice a person could drink in a day to meet or exceed? In other words, equal or be greater than. Exceeds mean to be greater. So what would be your answer, Latoya?
I said B.
Answer. You said B?
Yeah, I don't know if it's right.
Why you say, tell me why you said B.
Oh no, I didn't see the other part. It's supposed to be greater than or equal to.
So what's the answer?
It's so dark. It's C.
C? It's not divided.
Let me see.
Cups of milk, M. Cups of juice, J. It's not divided. It would have to be the number of milligrams multiplied.
It's A.
So you're saying answer A.
A.
And A is correct. A is
Yeah,
correct.
because those, you know what messed me up? Because
What was that?
was a less than or equal to, but all of them, then I find out, I thought I saw a thing mark under the greater than. You know the sign greater than and the slash underneath.
Right.
Greater than
Yeah.
or equal to. But then I see it again, it wasn't there. That's why I was saying B.
Oh, okay. So it's meet or exceed. So it's got to be the combination of the milk, cups of milk, and the cups of juice must be greater than or equal to 1,000 because it says meet, that's equal to 1,000, or exceed, that's greater than 1,000. So you need the combination. The cups of milk plus cups of juice must be greater than or equal to 1,000. Very good, Latoya.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm
Hello,
sorry.
Chastity. How you doing?
I'm okay. How's everyone? I'm
All
sorry,
right.
I'm like kind of late.
Okay.
Okay. So let's go back over number 3. Latoya will explain it to you. Explain number 3, Latoya, to Chastity.
So it said they recommend daily
Thank you.
calcium of a 20-year-old person is 1,000 milligrams. And they're saying that 1 cup of milk is 299 milligrams of calcium. And the cup of juice is 261. So in all, they want to find out if the person meets the criteria or exceeded more daily calcium intake from the drinks alone. So
Okay.
I thought it was B because the sign greater than or equal to with the sign underneath. The left side is less than, the right side is greater than. The sign under the bottom is equal or greater to. So then I found out it wasn't B because it didn't have the sign. It said for meet the criteria, or it for exceed means greater. That is recommended for a 20-year-old intake of calcium daily. So we picked the answer and it was A.
It's A because you have the
It's not a division
combination.
problem.
That's right. You have the combination of milk, cups of milk, M cups, J cups of juice, and it said these drinks alone. So the combination of them to get the recommended daily calcium requirement for this 20-year-old must be greater than 1,000 or equal to 1,000. Meet or exceeds meet means equal to 1,000. Exceed means greater than 1,000. Follow, Chastity?
Yes, thank you so much.
Okay. Meet or exceed. Meet equal, exceed greater. That's what inequalities are. They are greater than or equal, less than or equal, greater than, like this is just greater than, or it could be less than. Okay.
Okay.
Any questions? Number 3. Okay. Let's go
I don't
to
see.
number 4.
Oh,
Okay. A company's manager estimated the cost in dollars of producing items is C, that's cost, 7N plus 350. The company sells each item for $12. The company makes a profit when the total income from selling a quantity of items is greater than the total cost of producing that quantity of items. Which of the following inequalities give all possible values of N for which the manager estimates that the company will make a profit? So let's just copy here, cost equals cost is 7N, and N represents the number of items, okay, plus 350. Selling price, what's the selling price? Selling price equal $12 per item. And item is N, right? Let's just put N. So what would be the answer to number 4? What must he sell to make a profit? What would must be greater than, right?
Yeah.
$12 times N, that's the price. What must that be greater than? Let me put
Plus 7N.
Let me put a greater than sign here.
Then
Must
7N?
must be
Plus
greater
3.
than what? The 12N must be greater than the cost. And the cost is this, right? Must be greater than this. Let's just put this here, 7N. So $12 times N must be greater than 7N plus 350. How would you solve that?
Yeah, you gotta.
Solve this inequality. $12 is what he's selling it for. That for to make a profit, that $12 times N must be greater than 7N plus 350.
You gotta
That's it,
minus the 7.
yes. Chastity, you said the answer. What's the answer? Chastity? You said the answer. What's the answer?
C. The
C.
7N plus 350.
That's correct. That is correct. Answer. How did you get C? You could get it from here, right?
Yeah.
What would you do, Latoya, to get, how would you solve this? Remember I said you can solve inequalities just like you do equals. So you'd subtract what?
Minus 7N.
That's right. That's it. Subtract 7N. From both sides of the equation. So that would give you 12N minus 7N. Okay. And on the right side, I'd have minus 7N. And what do I get on the left side?
12N.
12 minus 7 is what? 12N
5N.
minus 7, 5N. That's right. I get 5N. And what do I get on the right side? Be greater than.
343.
No. 7N and
Oh,
a
no.
plus 7 and a minus 7N, Latoya, gives you what?
14.
14N.
No. Plus minus same value give you 0, remember?
Oh,
Right, Chastity?
yeah, sorry. 7.
Uh,
A plus 7N and a minus 7N give you 0.
Yeah, I did that part already. I said it long.
Right? Okay. All right.
that was the other day.
So,
Today's another day.
so what are you left with? I'll just copy this here. What are you left with? Okay.
You too.
5N greater than, and you just left with 350.
Jesus.
Right? 7N, a minus 7N and plus 7N is 0. So what is N? Divide both sides by 5, right? And what do you get?
70.
Get 70.
is greater than 70.
N. Let me just copy this over. Divide both sides by 5. Okay. And I'll just get N. 5 into 350 is 70. So N greater than 70. And that's just his answer, C.
Okay.
Questions? To get a profit, what you sell must be greater than what it costs you to make the item, right? But the cost to make the item is 7 times the number of items plus 350. Okay, 7 times the cost. Now this 350 is a constant. That means that's a cost that you'll have for producing it regardless to how many you make. That's like a fixed cost. Okay. So 7 times the number of items plus 350. Questions? So you've got to set this up first. $12 times the selling price, $12 times your number of items must be greater than the cost of making that number of items, which is 7 times N plus 350. And with an inequality, remember I said you can solve it just like if it were an equal here. So whatever you do to equations that have equal signs, you can do the same for inequalities, greater than or equal, less than or equal, greater than or less than.
What
Questions?
sign is that one? Greater, and it has the dot by the sides.
No, that it should just be greater. It's
Greater?
where I
Oh, okay.
copied it, it had the dot. But you, let me just put one in here for you. Okay. You see when I well, it's
Okay,
it's still putting the dot there, but I got it from the symbol table. But it doesn't have really any meaning. I think it just for emphasis probably.
Okay.
Yeah, but normal greater than or less than just have the greater than sign, and the less than sign, if it's equal, it puts the dash underneath. That means the greater than or equal. Let's see if the less than comes up.
You put our face on YouTube, Miss Barbara?
I'm sorry?
You put our face on YouTube?
Well, if you're on the video, you're on the YouTube.
Oh.
Some people elected not to put theirs there. They
Yeah, I don't want my face there.
Well, in that case, you'd have to turn off your camera.
Hmm?
Okay.
You have to turn off your camera or hide.
Yeah, I don't want my face there because people too fast.
Oh,
So,
I don't have any way of taking it out. I mean, it may be a way to edit it out, but the ones that didn't want their face there, they just didn't, they just weren't on the camera, on their camera.
Does it show up on the screen?
It'll show up on the video, yes, because whatever I record will be on the video. Now
Yeah,
but you could turn your video off, so you don't. You could turn it off. There you are, Latoya. Latoya.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you, but I don't see you. So you turn it
Yeah,
off, right?
because people from
That's an option. You could turn your video off.
Yeah, we participate.
yes.
Don't want to see my face.
Yeah. Okay. You can turn your video off. You don't. It doesn't have to be there.
People too fast.
People too what?
People too nosy.
What do you mean? You
I
think
like my privacy. My church have 2 years to get one picture from me. I don't give my picture to nobody.
Okay. All right. Well, that's your choice. Like I say, they give you the option of, because that comes up when you first start up, video on, video off, audio on,
Yeah.
audio off. So
I
that's your
protect the
choice.
privacy for safety reasons.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
No problem. Any questions on this problem? Okay, let's go to the next problem. Now, this one is like showing if there's any correlation between two things. So I
Miss
want you,
Barbara, you send us this today?
I'm
Do you
sorry.
send this to us? Do you send this us for
No,
us
no,
today?
no, I didn't send you this. This is new.
Oh, okay.
This is new. I'm seeing how smart you are.
Ooh.
And so far, you're smart.
Ah,
I'll
Miss
send it
I
to
have
you
Barbara, this is just
nightmares.
in
afterwards.
our brain.
I be having
Brain just
nightmares.
You having nightmares, Jess? You doing well. You showed a
Yeah.
lot of improvement. Be proud of
I
yourself.
try.
Be
I
proud of
try.
yourself. All right, I'm giving you a couple of minutes to read number 5 and tell me what the answer is. What conclusion would you get from the data that's provided?
number 5. A researcher wanted to know if it
Just use the data that they're given that you're given in the problem and tell me which conclusion is supported by the data.
I think it's D.
After you said D,
Yeah.
did you see that in the data that they gave?
Let me
Latoya, which one would you say?
see.
You would say C.
The first one that popped up for me was B. But then I read it back. But then my final answer is A.
What's your final answer?
A as in apple.
Okay. Chastity, what's your final answer? It's not the one you said.
Yeah.
So
Okay, hold on.
what's your final answer? Something that's you definitely see in the data here.
B. I think it's B.
You saying B as in boy?
B as in, wait, oh no, no. A. Oh God.
Okay, you saying A,
A.
and
A.
Latoya, you said A.
Yeah,
And
that's
A
my
is
final
correct
answer.
because where was the survey done? In the US.
United States, yeah.
The world would not be. So you can eliminate B and D
Yes.
because they both say the world, right? So B and D you can eliminate. So you between A and C.
C.
And it says nothing about sleep increase caused by an increase in exercise. The only thing they tell you is that they found convincing evidence of a positive association between
And the both.
exercise and sleep. So the answer can only be A.
Yes.
You're reading these problems, make sure you don't read something into it that's not there. See, when it said US, if it said world, you can eliminate it. So B and D, now you only have A and C as choices. But they didn't say anything about sleep causing exercise or exercise causing sleep. They only said positive association between exercise and sleep. So the answer can only be A. All right. You see, Chastity, when you read it over again, you changed your answer. You had the world, and you said, "Oh, but this says
Yeah,
CEOs in the United States, so it can't be anything that says the world." So,
I know. Yeah, I know. I read it wrong.
yeah, okay. That's
I
why you
wanted to
have to.
be too quick, and I wanted to be
Yep,
quick. But
yep,
yeah, I got this. And then I'm like, wait a minute. And then
yeah.
when I read it, I was like, wait a minute. They're talking about, look. I said, are they talking about United States or the whole world? I was like, oh, and then I read it quick. It says the United States. I was like, oh, no, wait. It's
United
A.
States.
That's
That's
why,
right.
yeah,
So it can only be A or C, but it can't be C because they
A.
didn't say anything about how one causes the increase of the other. They just said positive association. Okay, exactly.
But it does though. It does.
What?
It has it is positive. It actually is the truth because when you exercise, you always tend to feel tired and you rest more.
That may be true, but that's not in what they said. What you're saying could be very true, but remember, which of the following conclusions is well supported by the data? The data is what they
Oh,
put
it's only
in
a
this.
conclusion.
All right.
Yeah, okay.
So the data is what you're reading here, not something you may know about. Okay, so you got to
Yeah.
use just what they gave you to give the answer. And the only definite thing they gave you is that convincing evidence of a positive association between exercise and sleep. So it can only be A.
So now you have main idea in math.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Oh,
You're right. Just like in grammar, right? Writing,
Jesus.
reading. Okay.
Everything entwined with each other.
Now, do you remember Pythagorean?
Yeah, it's A
So
square plus
if
B square
if
equals
you
C
remember
square.
Pythagorean, you can do 6, right?
It's
So
A square plus
you know
B.
what is it? What is Pythagorean?
A square, the formula is A square plus B square equals C square.
Pythagorean. Okay. C square.
I'm gonna remember what's his name. Every time I'm gonna hear this word, Pythagorean, I'm gonna think
Pythagorean.
about what's his name?
Who-
Comedian. What is the
who-
comedian name that I saw the movie? Nobody watched the movie?
What was the movie?
Night School?
Night
No,
School.
I don't watch your crap.
I didn't remember the name of it, Chastity. I'm glad you just said it because let me write it down. Because I had said I was going to take a look at it, but I didn't remember
What's
the
his
name.
name? I forgot.
Who's the main star in there?
I'm trying to
Tiffany
remember.
Haddish and Kevin Hart.
Who's the
What's his name?
Kevin Hart, I think, coming there too.
Kevin Hart. Yeah, Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart?
Mm.
Okay. Okay. C square equal A square. Let's put in our exponent. What is C part? What do we call C of the triangle?
Yeah,
Anybody remember?
hypotenuse.
Hypotenuse of the longest
That's the
side.
longest
Okay.
side in a
That's
triangle.
right. Okay. And this is B. Okay, let's put our square here. Okay. Now, the hypotenuse is 9. One of the sides has a length of 2. And you define the length of the remaining side. So you have this, and now you can substitute. Let's just put here. Now, what is C?
9 square.
Okay, so where you have a C, put a 9. All right. One of the sides has a length of 2. It doesn't matter which one. We can put it A or B. So let's put 2 here. Okay. How would you calculate B? Anyone? How would I calculate B? What would I do first, Latoya? What's 9 square equal to?
81.
81. Okay. So let's do what we're doing is just squaring. What's 2 square?
4.
4. And that's plus. And let's just write out B square here. B square. Okay. Now, what do I do next? Remember, I want to solve for B. That's the length of the remaining side. So what do I do next?
Subtract.
Subtract what?
Subtract B.
What do I subtract? No, I want to solve for B.
No, subtract 4, both
That's
sides.
right. Subtract 4 from
Both sides.
both sides. Okay. So let's just take this and put out 4 there. Okay. So this would be minus 4. And on the right side, minus 4, right? Minus 4. So what do I have left on the left side? It's 81 minus 4, Chastity.
Mhm.
81.
78.
No. 4 from 11
Seven.
is
77.
that's right, 77. And what do I have on the right side? 4
4.
minus 4 plus B squared. What's that equal to? Plus 4 and a minus 4 is what?
Plus 4 and a minus 4 is plus. No, minus 6.
No, a plus and a minus of the same constant or variable is 0. A plus 4 and a minus 4 is 0.
And what if there was minus and minus is
Plus-
also 0?
No, plus 4 and a minus 4
Plus 1 minus 4.
equal 0. So a plus 4, let me put a plus here. The plus for the operation and the minus for the sign. So a plus 4 and a plus minus 4 is 0. Anytime you have the same value and one is plus and one is minus, you'll always get 0. Always. Even if it was a variable, it will say C, a plus C and a minus C is 0. Follow,
Okay.
Chastity?
Yes.
Okay, so when you add a plus and a minus of a constant or a variable, your result is 0. So on the right side, what do I have left? What
0.
do I have over here? After I add the +4 and the -4, what do I have left on the right side here?
4 plus B2, B plus 4 plus
+4 and a -4 is 0. So what do I have left on the right side?
B square.
I just have just the B square, right?
Yeah.
I have this is all I have left on the right side. So I put
Oh,
the
yeah.
B, right? Because the +4 and -4, sometimes people like to say they cancel out, but they actually add the 0. So, okay. So,
The answer is B. Square root of 11.
It's E, right?
the answer is E. That's right. The
I
answer
break it
is
down because
E.
it's the B square.
Yeah, the answer, because what you do, you take the square root of both sides, right? So let's just put the square root here. Insert symbol, square root. So that's 77 equal. And we're going to put the symbol here. And that's b squared. What's the square root of b squared? What's the square root of any square? It's just a variable, right? Or the number.
Yeah.
So I
It's
put
1.
b squared here. So what's the square root of b squared, Latoya?
1.
No,
11
the square root of b squared
is B.
is just b, right? So I'd have square root of 77 is equal to b. So no square root here, just b. And that's what? Answer.
E as in egg.
That's right, answer E. Because E is square root of 77. Remember, I told you when you take the square root of square, you're really saying what? The 2 raised to the 1/2, and 2 times 1/2 is 1. And b to the 1, you don't have to put the 1 exponent of power, okay? A square root of a square is just the variable, or if it was a number. Like, for instance, let me take this here. Suppose I'm going to put a number here. Suppose this was 64. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't want 64. Suppose this was 8. What's the square root of 8 square?
64.
No, 64.
What's the square root of 8 square?
64.
The square root of 8 square.
4 square.
No. What's the square root of 8 square?
We said 64.
No. Square root of 8 square is just 8.
Oh, the base. We call it the base.
Yeah, 8 to the second power is 64. The square root of 64 is 8. I'm just pointing out here, when you take the square root of a square, you just get back the variable, the number. The square root of b square is b. The square root of 8 square is 8.
I think I said,
Are you following me?
Yeah.
Because 8 square is 64. And what's the square root of 64? 8.
so, 8.
Because 8 times 8 is 64. And I just put this here to point out whether you have a variable like b square, square root of b square is b. Or if you have a number, square root of 8 square is 8. Got it? Square root of 9 squared is 9. Square root of 10 squared is 10. Follow?
Yeah.
Yes.
So whether it's a number, like here, or whether it's a variable, when you take the square root, you're just going to get back the variable or the number. If this was x squared, square root of x squared would just be x. Square root of p squared would just be p. Square root of 9 squared would just be 9. 9 squared is 81. Square root of 81 is 9. But you don't really have to square it because the rule is when you take the square root of a variable or a number, you just get back that number or you just get back that variable. Follow?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to number 7.
It's Barbara, give me a few minutes to punch through.
Okay, all right. Okay, Chastity, you can read number 7. Now, when you say 320 feet of fencing, you're talking of what? Perimeter.
A rectangular field is enclosed by 320 feet of fencing. If the length of the field is 6 feet more than its width, what is the length of the feet?
It is the length in feet. Now you're talking perimeter. And perimeter of a rectangle. Remember the formula? Equals 2 lengths plus 2 widths. That's the perimeter. And they gave you the perimeter. Perimeter is 320. Now, see if you can solve it. You've got the 320. That's your perimeter. Length is 6 more than the width. So length equals width plus 6. Because it said the length is 6 more than the width. That means you add 6 to the width and you get the length. Substitute in the perimeter. Substitute in for the length width plus 6. So you're going to substitute for the L here, width plus 6. Then you'll just have one unknown, and that would be W. Following me, Chastity?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to put P. Okay. Okay, so what I want you to do for the L, substitute this W plus 6. And I'll write it down and see if you can do it. Okay, substitute W plus 6 for L, for the length. Substitute 320 for P. Now, do that in this equation and tell me what you get. You're going to do that in this equation. Copy it over and do just what I said there. Substitute 320 for P. So you're going to put 320 right here, 320. And for the L, you're going to put W plus 6. So this will be W plus 6. So now I just have W. So can you solve it from here? Multiply 2 times the W plus 6, 2 times W, 2 times 6, and then solve for W.
I'm stuck.
Well, you follow the 320 is the parameter. That's right here, right? 320. Length is W plus 6. So 2L becomes 2 times W plus 6. W plus 6 is L. So I'm trying to get it to one unknown, right? Now, Chastity, do you know what you do from here?
No.
Okay. Okay, let's do it step by step. 2 times W is what?
2W.
That's it. Very good. That would just be 2W. What's 2 times 6?
2 times 6.
Yes.
12.
12. Very good. So you got what you need, right? Now, what's 2W plus 2W?
4W.
4W. Okay. So that would be 4W. And let's take out the 2 because we added the 2. 2W plus 2W. Now that's 12. Now, what do I do next?
You multiply?
No, remember I'm trying to find W. So what do I have to do to both sides to just have W over on the right side? What do I have to do?
Subtract?
Yes, what do I subtract?
4W minus
No,
12.
no, 4W is what I'm looking for W. So I want to
Oh.
leave this right the way it is. So what should I subtract from both sides of the equation?
12.
That's it. Subtract 12 from both sides of the equation. Okay. Now do that. Tell me what you get. Copy this. So subtract 12. So this would be what? Minus 12. And on the right side, minus 12. So what do I get on the left side? What's 320 minus 12?
It's, oh man. $4.98.
320 minus 12 can't be, it's got to be less than 320. Remember, that's a subtraction. Chastity, that's a subtraction. 12 from 320. 12 subtracted from 320 gives what?
308.
That's it. Very good. 308. Okay, now what do I have on the right side? Remember I said a plus and a minus of the same value give you 0. So what is left on the right side?
0.
No. You have 4W plus 12 minus 12. So if a plus 12 and a minus 12 is 0, what is left on the right side?
Or W.
That's it, 4W. Okay, now we want to solve for W. So what do we do to both sides of the equation to just get W?
Divide. Are you?
Okay, Chastity, you divide what? What are you going to divide by?
Both sides.
Yes. What do you divide by? Latoya, go on mute. You're making noise.
Oh,
Divide both sides by what?
By 4.
That's it. Divide both sides by 4. So 308 divided by 4 is what? So you divide both sides by 4. So let's just put underline here and underline here. And we divide both sides by 4. So what do I have left, Chastity?
Oh, no.
308 divided by 4.
62.
308 divided by 4 is what?
62.
No. 308 divided by 4. $308 divided by 4.
Hold on.
Four into 30 goes how many times?
7.
7. And 28 from 30 is what? 28 subtracted from 30 is what?
28 subtracted from 30.
Yes.
2.
2.
That's 70.
And then you bring down an 8. And 4 into 28 goes how many times? What number times 4 gives 28?
7.
7. So that's going to be 77. And 4 over 4 is 1. So that would just be equal to W. Right? So 77 is W. Now, what did they ask you to find? I think they asked you to find length, right?
Yeah.
But length, let's go back up here. Length is width plus 6. So length, let's just copy that here. So if the width is 77, then what is the length? What is the length equal to? What's 77 plus 6, Chastity?
83.
How much?
83.
83, that is correct. So what answer is that?
B.
That's it, answer B. Now, let's go back over this again. The perimeter of a rectangle is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. Follow? 2
Yeah.
times 2 times the length plus, because the length and width are different for a rectangle. Length and width are the same for a square, but for a rectangle, they're different. Okay, they said that the length is 6 more than its width. More than means what operation, Chastity? What does more
Adding,
than? Means what?
adding.
Add, that's right. So that means 6 plus the width is the length. So in the formula, P equals 2L plus 2W. Get rid of that. You can substitute for the L, W plus 6. So instead of 2L, I put 2 times W plus 6. That way I only have one unknown, and that's W, the width.
Okay.
So the perimeter, 320 feet. 2 times W is 2W. 2 times 6 is 12. So now I have 320 equals 2W plus 12 plus 2W. 2W plus 2W is 4W, because I only add the coefficients 2 and 2. So 2W plus 2W, 4W plus 12 is 320. Now what I need to solve for W, so I subtract 12 from both sides. On the left side, I get 308. On the right side, a plus 12 minus 12 is 0. So I'm left with just 4W. 4W is 308. Now that's a multiplication. So in order to find W, I've got to do the opposite of multiplication, which is division. Divide both sides by 4, and I get W is 77. But the question says, what is the length? So the length is 6 more than the width. So that means I add 6 to the width, 77, and I get 83, which is the length, and that's answer B. Chastity, any questions on 7?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Just remember the parameter formulas: 2 lengths plus 2 width for a rectangle. And if it were a square, it would just be 4 times the length of a side, because all the sides are equal and there are 4 sides for a square. Just like there are 4 sides for a rectangle. 2 lengths are where the lengths are the same, and 2 widths where the width are the same.
Okay.
Now, do you understand average? How would you find the average of something?
I don't know that one.
Okay. Average is the sum of the items divided by the number of items. So let's just put here. Average equal sum of items divided by number of items. Okay, so let's just take, if I gave you 3, 5, and 8. Okay, what would average be equal to? What would be the sum of the items? That means you'd add 3 plus 5
Plus 8.
plus 8. That's right, plus 8. Now, once I add this, and
16.
I'll put this in parentheses. 3 plus 5 plus 8. And how many items do I have?
16.
No, I have 3
Three.
items, 3, 5, and 8. That's the number of items. I have 3 items,
Yeah.
right? So it will be the sum of the items, 3 plus 5 plus 8, divided by the number of items, which is 3. So 3 and 5 is 8. And as you said, that's 16. So that's 16 divided by 3. And 16 divided by 3, let's see, what is that? 1, 6 divided by 3. And that's like 5.3. Okay, equal 5.33. That's the average. Because it's not always a whole number, but it's the sum of the items divided by the number of the items. So this problem is giving you some variables here. It says the average of three numbers is V. If one of the numbers is Z and the other is Y, what is the remaining number? Okay, so let's just write that. Okay, this is, okay. So let's just write that the average of the three numbers is V. So average of three numbers is V. Okay. One number is Z and another is Y. Now, how would I write this the way I wrote here? Average is the sum of the numbers divided by the number of items, right? So how would I write this? How would I write the average using V, Z, and Y? In other words, I want you to take this and substitute in what was given to you in this problem. So what is the average of the three numbers given in this problem? Chastity, what did they tell you the average? Average of three numbers is what?
The average. The numbers is
Just read
60.
what here. Oh no, just read what's here. The average of the three
Average of
numbers
the
is what?
number is V.
So then you put V. That's the average of the three numbers, okay? Now it says the sum of the numbers, and the sum of the numbers are going to be what?
The sum of the number.
Yes. What do I have to add to get the sum? Now, they gave me Z plus Y, and we'll say we have another number, and we'll just call that N. That's what we're looking for, right? And what would that be divided by? How many items do I have?
3.
3. Very good. Okay. So that would be divided by 3. So in other words, I'd have, let's just put this in parentheses, Z plus Y plus N divided by 3. Okay. Now, what do I want to do next? What do I do next? Remember, I'm looking for the remaining number N. So what do I do next? Let me just put this, the 3 under here to make it easier.
Yeah, Miss Bug, I'm back.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right, Latoya. Now we're trying to find, okay, let's put the 3 here.
Which number are you guys?
We're on number 8.
Number 8. Okay.
We did the perimeter one. Okay. So, Latoya, what do I do next? Chastity, do you know what I do next? What's the next step?
So
Number 8.
Average of three numbers is V. Now, Latoya, I took these just to explain average to Chastity because she wasn't familiar with average. I said the average is the sum of the items divided by the number of items. And I gave her 3, 5, and 8. Add them up. There are 3 items. 1, 2, 3. And we got 16 over 3. And that should be equal 5.33. Okay. Now, here you're given the average of 3 numbers is V, one number is Z, and another is Y. What is the average? So V is the average. Z plus Y is 2 of the numbers, and N is that third number, the remaining number, and 3 is the number of items. So, Latoya, what do I do next? What's my
You
next?
gotta divide.
Why would you divide?
Let me see.
Remember, I'm
It's
trying
gonna
to
be.
find N. So what I'm gonna do next? What's my next step?
You got a minus N.
No.
I
You
remember
see,
you gave us one of these the other day.
you see that 3? That's a division. So I want to multiply.
Yeah,
Multiply
you're gonna do the what do you call it?
both sides of the equation by 3. So what would that give me?
It's gonna be 3Z
Yeah, 3
Z
V equal
Z
what?
plus equal 3Z.
What would that be equal to? Because when I
3Z
multiply by 3, that's going to be, the 3's are going to cancel and that'll be 1. So what would that be equal to? Z
plus
plus
Y
Y plus
N.
N. Right. Now, what do I have to do to solve for N?
You're gonna minus N.
No, I'm
No,
solving
not
for
minus.
N. So what I'm going to do is do what?
Divide N. No.
No.
You're gonna minus N.
I'm looking for N.
Oh, you're looking for N.
Yeah.
So you're gonna divide by 3 both sides.
No. What is N connected to? What is N connected to on the right?
3V.
No, what is on the right side? What is N connected to?
Z.
Y.
Z and Y, right? And how is it connected? By addition. What's the opposite of addition?
Subtraction.
Subtraction. So what do I want to do, Chastity? What do I want to do to both sides?
Subtract.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I said it
Yeah.
before. You said no.
But you didn't say what to subtract.
I said N.
No, it's not N. You're solving for N. You want to subtract.
When
No,
it's
I asked
numbers,
you
I
how
know
was it
to do.
connected, and N is connected to Z and Y by
Y.
addition. So you want to
Yeah.
subtract Z
Minus
and Y
Y.
from both sides.
When it's letters, Miss Barbara, I get confused.
I know.
I
You know what
do.
is
I'm
it?
used to
You know what is it?
numbers.
6 o'clock already. That's why we're confused.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
God.
make math too much into too much. God help me.
yeah, but just think of if you had numbers. Well, I tell you what you could do now. Well, sometimes you don't have enough time to do it. You could change these to numbers and do
How
it.
you
And
change it to numbers? Well, our
well, I
numbers
mean,
is Z.
just say the average of three numbers is 6. And if one of the
So do we
numbers,
make up those numbers? Do we make
yeah,
up
you could
those
just
numbers?
make them up. If it's easier for you to work with
Ah,
the numbers, just say the average of three numbers is, we'll say 9. If one of the numbers is 2 and another is 1, what is the remaining number? How would you solve that? If you say the average of three numbers is 3. One of the numbers is 2 and another of the numbers is 2. What is the remaining number?
You're doing it
you add
somewhere.
those up.
Okay, let's just put the Z and the Y here, and then we'll go to one with the numbers. I want to see if it works better for you if you put the numbers. Okay, so we want to subtract Z and Y from both sides. So that's going to be on the left side minus C minus Y. And on the right side is minus Z minus Y. Okay. Okay. Now on the left side, I would have just what you see here, right? 3V minus Z minus Y. Okay. What would I have on the right side? What's left on the right side, Latoya?
Z,
Minus Z minus Y.
N.
Just N. That's right, because Y plus Y minus Y is 0, plus Z minus Z is 0. So I would just have just N.
This one, I'm not getting it. I have to look it over back.
Well, now you see the answer. Which answer is correct? What is
C.
the answer? Which one?
C. No.
3V minus
D.
Z minus Y. The answer is
D
D.
as in donkey.
Yeah, it's D. Because D is 3V minus Z minus Y.
God help us with this math.
Okay, let's just start here. Average of three numbers is V. They gave us that, right? One number is Z and another is Y. So the average V is going to be Z plus Y plus a number we don't know divided by 3. So you want to take this equation and solve for N. You first multiply both sides by 3. 3V equals Z plus Y plus N. Then since Z and Y are connected to N by addition, you're going to subtract out the Z and the Y from both sides, and you're left with what? N equals 3V minus Z minus Y.
Oh.
Chastity, you following?
So.
Now, what I was saying is if you put the numbers in, okay, let's just put the numbers. Suppose this problem, see if you can solve it. Suppose I say the average, okay. Right, I'll change this and put some numbers in. See if you can solve it. Okay. I'm saying the average of three numbers is 3. Yeah, 3. Okay. One of the numbers is 2. And another is 3. What is the remaining number? How would you solve that?
Three plus 2 plus 3.
What is the remaining number? If the average, remember I said the average is the sum of the items.
Is it 8?
No.
It's gonna be 2,
What was it?
2, 3, and
Average is the sum of the numbers divided by the number of items. So the average of the three numbers is 3, right?
yeah. They're gonna be 3 plus
So you're going to have what?
equal.
One of the numbers is 2.
2,
One is 3.
3, and 1 is
And one is n, we'll call, right? N. And how many numbers are there?
3.
3. So let's just underline and we'll put 3. Now, to get an average of 3, what must the total be for 3 numbers?
12.
No,
8,
no,
5.
no. Okay. Think of a number that you divide by 3 and get 3.
9.
That's right, 9. That means your total must be 9, right? So if your total must be 9, and you have 2 and 3, what must n be?
5. No.
N, no,
4. 4.
n would be what? 4.
4.
Because 4 plus 3 is 7 plus 2 is 9. So n would be 3 times 3 minus 2 minus 3, which is what we had up here, but it was z and y, right? So n, let me just put it here, n would be equal to 3 times 3 minus 2. Well, let me just do it like this. 3 times 3 and that would be minus 2
Minus 3.
minus 3. That's right. So with the numbers, you can see it's coming out just like when you had the letters, right? So it would be 3 times 3 minus 2 minus 3. So we had 3 times v minus z minus y. Okay, it's the small n. So when you put the numbers in, you get the same thing you got with the letters, except you'll have what? A v for the 3, and then you'll have a z and a y for the 2 and the 3. You follow? If the average is 3, one of the numbers is 2 and one is 3. In order to get an average of 3 and you have 3 numbers, that means your total must be 9. So you've got a 2 and a 3, you can add that and subtract it from the 9 and you get what that n should be, which is what this is. 3 times 3 is 9 minus 2 minus 3, which would be 4. Because it's 9 minus 5. Follow?
Yeah, I have to go over that one, Miss Barbara. This one is not getting it. I have to really read over this one.
Yeah,
Because I'm not understanding this
do you
one.
understand the numbers?
Not really.
Yeah, a little bit more. A
Average
little
of
bit more
three,
than the letters, but
average of
still.
3 numbers is 3.
Yeah, that part I know.
You
So
know, okay.
your numbers is gonna be 3.
And I'm telling you what the numbers are. 1 is 2 and 1
Mhm.
is 3.
That part I understand.
Okay, what is the remaining number? In order for the average to be 3 and there are 3 numbers, that means the total of the numbers must be 9. You follow?
Why?
Yeah.
That must be 9. So if I have a 2 and a 3 and an n, I know that n has to be a 4 because a 4 and a 3 and a 2 gives me 9, and 9 divided by 3 is 3. But all I'm saying is that when we solved this one up here, we had 3 times 3, but now the 3 is a v, and the 2 is a z, and the 3 is a y. You follow?
Yeah.
So if you can put it in terms of numbers and understand it, then you can just plug back these values. This 3 would be v, and then the 2 would be the minus z, and the 3 would be the minus y. Still minus, just be a minus y, minus z, and 3v. Follow?
Yeah.
Well, take some time and go over it and understand with the numbers, and then notice whenever you have variables, it's the same principle. You put the average, and notice this one they gave you. Okay, let's go back here. Average of the numbers is v. So you put the v in. That's the average. The sum of the numbers, and there are 3 numbers, so the sum of the numbers divided by 3 gives you the average. So if the average is v, and 2 of the numbers are z and y, then I need to find that third number. So I put the third number here, and then I can take this expression and solve for that third number. And that third number gives me 3v minus z minus y, because over here is plus, but I'm solving for the n. Well, take some time to go through this one. I'll be sending you this so you can go through it, okay?
Okay.
But I wanted to make sure you could apply it with the numbers, and you did, because you told me what the numbers were. When I put it over here, you said, oh, n has to be a 4, because 4 and 3 is 7, and 2 is 9, and 9 over 3 is 3. Except over here, we were given some variables, okay? Now, I don't think I told you anything about functions, but let me just give you a little lesson on functions. Now, whenever you have like this 2, 3, that means x, y, x, y, x, y. X always come first, right?
Yeah.
Now, in order, Latoya, you probably remember, in order for something to be a function, what must not change? X or the y?
I don't remember.
X must not change. If I have a duplicate X, then it's not a function. Okay, so let me just put this here.
I don't remember none of this. You guys were over this?
I think we did. Well, we've gone over it with Latoya, but probably you didn't.
Yeah, I must have missed this class because I don't remember.
Okay, so for something to be a function, okay, let's see. Given X, Y pairs, there must not be duplicates of X for a function. In other words, I cannot duplicate my x values. If I have the x there duplicated, then it's not a function. So back up here, that's x2, y3, x minus 4, y3, x7, y3. Here, x0, y0, x minus 1, y minus 1, x2, y2. Here, x2, y3, x minus 5, y3, x2, y7, x minus 1, y3, x is minus 5, y3, x minus 9, y0. Remember I say for the xy pairs, the x always come before the y. It's not a function if they're duplicate x values. Okay? If there are no duplicate x values, then it's a function. So knowing that, which of these relations does not represent a function? Latoya?
It's B.
Which
Yeah.
one does not? It will not be a function if I have duplicate x values. Remember, my x values come first. So I have xy, xy, xy.
It's D. D against donkey. You hear me?
I hear you, but I don't see duplicate x values.
Is it
Remember,
B?
No, I
I don't
said
see-
D as in donkey.
I don't see duplicate x values, Chastity.
The answer is A.
I don't see duplicate x.
I don't understand
There's
this one.
none of the above.
I don't see none of the above.
That one got me. I'm
Look.
done with this. I'm finished with math. My brain is headache.
Does not. Now look at C. C has a 2 here and a 2 here. That's duplicate x values. Follow?
Yo.
That's
You know what?
X.
I was gonna say that before. I was okay. Is it 2
Yeah,
here?
that's x, y, x, y, x, y. The 2 appears duplicated because I have it here in this pair, 2, 3, and I have it here as 2, 7. Don't worry about the y values, just worry about the x values. If they're duplicated, then it's not a function. So the one that's correct is C, because C has x value 2 appearing twice.
Oh.
You follow, Latoya?
Yeah.
Follow, Chastity?
Yes.
So don't worry about the y. I can have duplicate y values. Look here, I have all these duplicate y values. Doesn't matter. But my x values are all different. 2 minus 4, 7. So if I gave you a series of pairs, then if I have duplicate x values, and that's the one that comes first, remember it's x followed by y. Okay? And if there are any duplicates, then that's not a function.
Miss Barbara, you beat us up with these 2 last ones. By the time you finish with us, we got PhD in math.
All right, Dr. Gentles. Dr. How do you pronounce your last name, Chastity? Guatemud?
Guatemud.
Guatemud. Dr.
That's
Guatemud.
a weird name.
So I'm Dr. Guatemud and Dr. Gentles.
My brain is fried.
So remember that rule now.
Yeah, that's new to me. I never see this one before.
Remember that rule of functions. If
so
I
this
have
is a new part of function now?
No, it's always been there. I thought you had. I
never see this one before, Miss Barbara.
No,
I see others, but not this one.
Okay. All
I never
right.
see this one. That's why it was so confusing to me.
Okay. All right. Well, you'll see it again. I'll give you some others to look at. But remember, you look at your XY pairs, and if your X is duplicated, then it's not a function. So only C has the X appearing the same. 2 here
Got
and
it.
2 here. You got it?
Yes.
So if you're given any other pairs, you'll be able to determine if it's a function.
Go
Right?
champion.
Now we just have one more we want to do, and that's also functions, and that's a substitution. See if you can do this one. Wherever you see an X, I want you to put a -2. Okay, let's just write this. I want you to solve this one. Wherever you see an X, put a -2. So this is f of -2. Wherever you see that variable X. So this is going to be -2.
Wow, we're
Okay.
changing things.
And this will be -2. See if you can solve this one. Okay, let's take out the X. Okay, now solve it. You know what a -2 times a -2 is, right?
A -8.
A
Zero.
-2 times a -2 is a +4 times a -2 is a -8. Very good, Latoya. So that would be a -8. Okay, let's take out the
Oh
2.
crap, I forgot this part.
And let's take out the exponent because we already raised it to the 3rd power. Okay. Now, Chastity, what's a -2 times a -2? -2 times a -2 is what?
+8.
No. What's 2 times 2?
4.
So a -2 times a -2 is what?
4.
Yes, that's right, 4. Because like signs multiply give you positive. So -2 times -2 gives you a +4. So let's just take out this power here. Now you can tell me the answer. What's the answer? What's a 4 times a -8? What's that, Chastity? What's 4 times a -8?
4 times 8.
4 times a -8. Unlike signs multiply to give you negative. So what would 4 times a -8 be?
I don't know. I'm seeing blurry.
4 times a -8.
4 times. I don't know.
Latoya, what's 4 times a -8?
A -32.
-32. Remember, Chastity, unlike signs multiply to give you negative. So a minus times a plus gives you a minus. Okay. And what's 4 times 4?
A -16.
Okay, so 4 times 4 is 16.
This was 16.
Okay. So what's the answer?
26.
26. What? Wait.
No. What's the answer, Chastity?
Is it
A
32
-38.
minus 16?
A -32 and a
38.
-16 is what?
40, 40, 48.
-48.
Plus 10 give you a -38.
Wait. How are we doing this one?
It's 32 minus 16 plus 10. Because 32 and 16 is like signs. You add them. So you're gonna give you a minus 48 plus 10.
And what's that equal to?
A minus 38.
Right, that's it. Minus 38. Okay, let's just put that here. So that would be a minus 38. That's the answer. Okay, let's take out the 4.
When you're subtracting, you keep the sign at the bigger number.
That's right. So the answer is what?
Minus 38 is, I think it's B.
38.
And,
B is as in boy.
oh my.
Oh, what happened?
What happened?
What was that?
Ooh, what happened?
It's B. What happened, Miss Barbara? It's
I think you-
gone.
No, it's gone. Let's see.
He wants us to go.
Boy.
Yeah, Miss Latoya. So your guys are done. Bye-bye.
It just disappeared out.
You had it. You went back.
I
What happened?
know I had it.
Up to speak. Oh crap. What is this?
No,
Safe driving mode? What's that? Oh God, I can't take Zoom. Too much headache.
I don't know. It disappeared. Okay.
Well, you
guess we'll
undo
s-
it.
Well, yeah, I
What
did
You
that.
undo
happened?
it.
I did that, and then it went to.
Undo it again.
Driving mode.
No, I did the undo.
Oh,
Ah,
yeah,
there
look.
you go.
Now you click on it.
Okay, let's see
Right
if I
there.
scroll down, see if I can get back where I was. Okay.
Where are we? That's the top.
Yeah, that's the top. I want to get. We were what at number 10?
I think it was 10.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. I hope I didn't lose it. Okay. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So minus 38, and the answer was
It's
what?
B as in
B.
baby.
That's correct. Answer B. Questions? Homework. I'll send you this, and I want you to
Uh-oh.
do 11. Okay. Okay.
Wow.
12. Let's see. 12, 13, and 14. 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, homework.
Okay.
And I will send you this. Then I'll put the session on YouTube.
All right. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Miss Barbara.
Latoya, you didn't send me the answers to the problem, the cookout.
I didn't even understand what that means.
What do you mean you
I
didn't
didn't
understand? No,
I
you
didn't
were
understand
just,
what it really means.
it was an
I
exercise to
didn't.
see if you could read a word problem and answer the question. All I wanted you to do is go through it and give me the items and the amount. Like if it's 40 hamburgers, just put hamburgers 40. If it's
Oh,
20
that's what I
hot
mean. Because
dogs,
I
put
read it and I was
20.
like, I'm lost.
Yeah, somebody else said they didn't understand. Okay, Latoya, I want you to do it. That's why I didn't go over it. Chastity had 13 out of 14 correct.
Yeah.
That's good.
All right. The same
Yeah.
problem. Okay. So Latoya, today is Monday. So if you can get it to me by Wednesday,
Okay.
you could email it, you could text it, you could write it down and take a picture of it on your phone and send it to me. Either way. But I don't need the names of the people who donated. All I need is
I did that.
the item. Yeah, I got that from Michelle, gave me everything. I said you didn't have to give me anything but the item and the amount. For instance, Latoya, if 40 is the hamburgers, you just say hamburgers 40. If hot dogs
right.
is 60, you just say hot dogs 60. If chocolate bars is 30, you just say chocolate bars 30. That's all I need. You
Okay,
follow?
so I'm sorry. The homework is 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15, you said, right?
Well, if you want to do 15, I didn't really say 15.
Okay, my phone died, so I'm like, okay.
That's okay. I said 11, 12, 13, 14.
All right, thank you so
11,
much.
12, 13, 14. Latoya, by Wednesday, send me the cookout problem answers. Answers only, just the item and the amount. You follow?
Okay, item and amount.
And since you told me you didn't understand, I got to call somebody else said they didn't understand it either. They didn't send me answers. Maybe they, well, okay. Well, that's a problem I gave to all the students, regardless whether you are Monday or Thursday. I gave because
Okay.
I want to make sure you know how to read and translate the math to the words to the math. In other words, less than, subtract, more than, and
Yeah.
times, multiplied, okay, twice multiplied, okay. Okay, so thanks for joining, and I'll see you on, some of you I'll see on Thursday. Well, Latoya, I'll see you next Monday. We will have a quiz.
Oh, God help me.
No, not next Monday. We'll have it the following Monday.
I have a test this week with my math class.
Okay, well, we're having my other class, we're having a quiz on Thursday, but for the algebra, we'll have a quiz on not Monday, but a week from Monday. Okay. And
Oh, now what's turn?
yeah,
Okay.
it will be a week from Monday. We'll have a quiz on algebra. Okay.
So is it
So I
Thursday?
think that would be what would be next Monday? See, the
And the
first
test will be on what?
it would be on just the things we've gone over, college algebra, all the different kind of problems we've gone over. I probably won't be giving you anything on some of the things I went over because we probably need to go over it some more, like the slope, the functions. It won't be on the function part, okay?
What do you mean not on this one function part?
Yeah, the things we're going over now, the test you'll get will not be on that. In other words, I won't give
All
you
right.
things like this, the functions,
Okay.
but I may give you something about this now, which does not represent a function or which represent a function. See if you remember the rules that the x value should not be duplicated if it's a function. Okay.
Uh-oh.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay. So we'll see you next time, and I'll say so long.
okay.
Okay.
Adios.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Good
Bye.
night.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Good
Bye-bye.
night.
Have a good night.
Good
Okay,
night.
bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.